Greetings, boarding school nurses. It's Art again, and this time I'm not in a boat, but as you can see, I'm not that far from the water. That's because I've come to Belfast, Maine to talk about mindful walking. Why Belfast? Well, in part because Belfast has the Phineas Quimby Labyrinth. And there it is. Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, to be exact. So mindful walking is related to the more formal meditative practice called walking meditation, which is frequently done on a labyrinth. And if you've seen people doing walking meditation, you can see that they walk painfully slowly. Probably many of them even more slowly than I'm walking now. And the idea is to concentrate on every single tactile sensation involved with the act of walking, both the way that your feet contact whatever is below them, how that feels, the muscles that you need to move in order to make walking happen, anything at all associated with walking. And I like to walk this labyrinth barefoot because it gives me that much more sense of the sensations associated with the pavers and the gaps between them and the grit that's on them, and so on. And another way you can do this, if you don't have a labyrinth, I'm just going to veer off course here, is to set aside some space on your lawn. I love to do walking meditation or even mindful walking barefoot in grass, again, because there are so many different tactile sensations. And I'm just doing what we've been doing in all of these practices. I'm trying to focus as much of my attention as possible simply on the physical sensations of walking. The transition from heel to toe with each foot, moving the other foot forward, and also the sensations associated with coming in contact with the ground and ideally not stepping on that bee. And so you can do walking meditation or this style of mindful walking even if you don't have a labyrinth, assuming that you do have a patch of grass. But those are both relatively formal meditative practices, at least insofar as you have to set aside a bit of time and take your shoes off in order to do them. Whereas there are ways you can do mindful walking even in the course of what you were doing the rest of your day. And again, the instructions are really simple. It's to pay particular attention to the physical sensations of walking. What does it feel like to make your foot come down onto the ground and to roll from heel to toe and pick your foot back up again? What are the sensations associated with the surface that you're walking on? How does it differ? What do your feet feel like in your shoes and in your socks and things like that? You can do this while walking from anywhere to anywhere else, and you can give maybe not all of your attention, but much more of your attention than you normally would to those sensations and the physical realities of walking. Obviously, this type of walking is more boring in terms of the lack of kind of tactile variety that you might have walking barefoot in the grass or walking across pavers in a labyrinth, but you can discover things nonetheless. When I first started illustrating walking meditation or mindful walking to my students, I discovered a sort of natural declivity in the floor of my classroom, a little dip or a bowl, if you will, just inside one of the doors to my classroom. I could teach for a whole day, for a whole week, for a whole month, probably for years in that room and never notice that declivity. It's fairly inconsequential, it's fairly nuanced, but it's there. And as soon as I started paying attention to the sensations of walking, I realized it was there despite the dress shoes in which I teach. So you can practice mindful walking anywhere. You can walk mindfully from your car to the grocery store and from the grocery store to your car. You can walk mindfully from the health center to the dining hall to get lunch, and back again. Any walk that you would normally take can be a mindful walk if you just pay attention to the sensations associated with stepping along the ground. Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh calls it walking as though you're kissing the earth with your feet. Another benefit of mindful walking is that sometimes your feet might carry you to a place like this.